No.
Not about my
Okay.
family.
They're on my face.
This one was even more true than my family.
It's okay.
Oh, because the music
I saw Shane put the guitar down, so he didn't stop. And I just like,
The music never stops.
yeah. I'm baffled now.
Okay.
Alright, I'm listening to you.
So a long time ago, deep, deep in the ocean, there was a stingray named Spencer. Now, Spencer was a bit of a grumpy Gus, and he was not very well liked by his neighbors. One such neighbor was Billy, and Billy was a blowfish. Now, Billy was just an extremely cheerful little guy. He's always swimming around. And now Spencer was not a fan of this. So, right on their property line, Spencer kept trying to, because underwater there are property lines apparently.
Absolutely.
So Spencer tried to build this wall to keep him out, but it was made of kelp, and every time he got it to a certain height, it would just kind of droop over. So this just frustrated Spencer even more. Sorry, I'm making up names now. But anyway, so Spencer was like, okay, something needs to be done. So he got this genius idea. Now, Spencer had a car that he would occasionally drive to get across the ocean because sometimes swimming just took a lot of effort. So, because evidently this underwater car has wheels still, they still needed to be replaced in case they were blown out. So he used this car jack, and using his long stingray tail, he dug this little trench between their yards, and he put the jack inside. Now, he tried to, I don't know, jack the 2 yards apart, and they just kept growing wider. However, because it was under the ocean, every time he did that, just more land would come up. And this just caused even more problems because Spencer was like, no, this is all my yard, I created it. But Billy's like, no, come on, man, it's all cool, we can share this. So Spencer was just irate. So the next thing he was just like, okay, this has got to get extreme. So Spencer went to the local underwater explosives store, and in the place of the jack, because there was still a bit of a hole there, he placed the explosives and ignited it underwater somehow. I don't know the exact details. I believe there was an air bubble involved and an oxygen tank. But anyway, so after this exploded, Billy was just sitting at the edge in his house, and he saw this happen, so he swam over. But somehow the magical propulsion from this explosive just kept pushing the yards farther and farther apart. Now, it was at a very slow rate, and I'm not sure if that's scientific truth, but that's pretty much how I understand continental drift.
Awesome.
That was so wonderful.
That's nice.